In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear viewers, in today's episode, we're continuing our discussion about fatty liver, which we talked about in the last episode. We saw how we can treat fatty liver and achieve a complete, final recovery without any medications at all. This is done by going on a diet to lose about 8% body weight over roughly 2 months, and then sticking to a diet free of carbohydrates, starches, and sugars. You either significantly reduce these things or cut them out completely while increasing protein intake, not just reducing carbs, but actively increasing proteins, meats, and similar foods. People who followed this for about 2 years completely recovered. 90% of the people who tried this fully healed. For the remaining 10% who didn't fully recover, their fatty liver still decreased significantly. As we mentioned in the previous episode, some people might not be able to stick to this diet and maintain their weight. They might go back to poor eating habits and regain the weight. Or they might have a condition that prevents them from consuming high amounts of protein long term, like people with gout, who can't eat meat and proteins continuously for a long period. So, we promise that in this episode, we start discussing medications for this. By the way, I applied this to myself after making the last episode, because I had gained a little weight. I'm not overweight or anything. I used to be quite heavy a long time ago, but I lost a lot of weight. Still, I had gained a bit back. I applied this method, completely cut out carbs, and started increasing my meat intake. I lost 4 kilograms in just 1 week. So, if you simply stop eating carbs and start eating proteins and vegetables, you will lose a lot of weight. And without even needing an x-ray or anything, you'll start noticing your fatty liver decreasing. We mentioned that the liver is absolutely not designed to store fat. God didn't create it for that purpose. The liver performs thousands of functions, and this fat completely disrupts them. If the fat in the liver reaches just 5% of its weight, it becomes a fatty liver. It starts losing its functions. Liver enzymes become elevated, and liver problems begin. You then enter a state of insulin resistance, as we discussed, which can lead to type 2 diabetes. What's even more dangerous is that if fatty liver persists for a long time, it leads to liver scarring. This leads to cirrhosis, which ultimately leads to liver cancer. All of this happens without you feeling it, until the very end when a blood test shows extremely high enzymes, meaning the liver is severely damaged, or the eyes turn yellow because of high bilirubin. Then they start going to doctors, beginning a journey of suffering because the condition is in its very late stages. So, anyone who is currently overweight, be 99% sure you have a fatty liver, and you need to start solving this issue. And anyone with diabetes, it's 99% certain you have a fatty liver. As for people who are thin and have a healthy weight, they are the ones who might want to go get a liver scan, specifically an MRI of the liver, to see if there's fat or not. Because while thin people usually don't have fat, some do. As we explained, a person might be thin with no visible body fat, but they have visceral fat, fat inside around their organs. This can also lead to fat accumulating in the liver, meaning they have a fatty liver without even realizing it. They might say, "I'm perfectly healthy, I'm thin, I don't have any issues." To not drag this out, in today's episode, we said we'd talk about medications. Because today's episode is very important and might be long, we'll divide the medications and treatments into 2 sections. I'll quickly go over the first section. What doctors usually prescribe. If you go and get diagnosed with fatty liver, the doctor will prescribe these things, or at least a large part of them, for you to follow. The second part, however, will take us to Denmark, to Copenhagen, the University of Copenhagen, a massive company called Novo Nordisk, and the Endocrine Society. We'll see what new developments they have that most people don't know about yet in treating fatty liver. So, the first part, the standard fatty liver treatment. Doctors will put you on vitamins. You must take a vitamin called vitamin E. You take at least a 400 milligrams capsule daily. It's an oil-based capsule, and there are even 1 gram capsules available. It's widely available in all Arab countries. You need to take vitamin E every day. It reduces triglycerides, general fat, and cholesterol that builds up in the body. It's known that vitamin E has massive health benefits because it's an antioxidant, and it boosts fertility among many other things. It really needs a whole episode to itself. So, vitamin E is taken daily to lower fat levels. Doctors also prescribe omega-3 or fish oil along with it. These are also oil capsules, usually taken as 1 capsule a day, sometimes 2, until the fat decreases. Furthermore, when a patient starts developing insulin resistance, many doctors prescribe Glucophage or Metformin. In some countries, the active ingredient is called Metformin, available under the brand name Glucophage. In Egypt, we also have it under the name Cytophage. Doctors prescribe a low dose of Glucophage or Cytophage, about 500 milligrams, which is a small dose, just 1 pill a day. Some doctors prescribe more than 1 pill or give the 1-gram Glucophage to patients who have developed insulin resistance or are overweight because it's generally beneficial for health. We discussed it in a previous episode, highlighting it as one of the best things for maintaining youth and fighting aging. Go back to that episode to learn about its many benefits. I've made previous episodes about Glucophage. It's truly incredible. Anyone can use it, even for weight loss or reducing fat. Some doctors also add something called statins. These are prescription medications, and a doctor must prescribe them. You can't just go take them on your own. They include drugs like atorvastatin and rosuvastatin. Your doctor will prescribe them and determine the dose based on your lipid profile to lower your fat levels. So, as a quick review of the medications or supplements taken for fatty liver that doctors prescribe, they give vitamin E, omega-3, which are nutritional supplements and vitamins, Glucophage, and sometimes statins, which are 4 or 5 different drugs available in pharmacies used to lower fat. Now, do these things guarantee a 100% result? I'll tell you no. The results are not guaranteed at all, especially if you don't lose weight, reduce your body mass, follow a diet, and do what we talked about in the last episode. You must diet, lose weight, and increase your meat intake. Even if you don't increase meat, you have to lose weight and follow these steps to get better results. What's new in treatment? Focus with me here because this is new information, whether you are a patient or a fellow doctor listening. We're going to discuss very new things and medications available in the market that your doctor might prescribe. Please, when I mention them, don't just go take them on your own. You'll end up asking your pharmacist about them anyway. You need to go to the doctor, get x-rays, do lab tests, and confirm you have a fatty liver. Don't take these things without a medical prescription because they are drugs, and we can't just take medication without a doctor confirming our condition requires it. However, this is new information, and I'm sharing it with my fellow doctors too, based on newly published research. Let's head over to Denmark, a developed first world country, often cited as having some of the happiest people on earth. Yet, they still have fatty liver because many are overweight. In the capital, Copenhagen, there's a very prestigious university called the University of Copenhagen, specifically its Faculty of Medicine. We'll see what they did. There are 2 scientists, I'll mention their names now. They are 2 top senior female researchers. One of them is an assistant professor at the University of Copenhagen's Faculty of Medicine. The other is a senior professor working at a company called Novo Nordisk, the company that makes most of the insulin you hear about. The first researcher is Pernille Tvedt. Danish names are so hard. I thought only Chinese names were difficult. Pernille Tvedt specializes entirely in fatty liver. Her life's work is fatty liver and hepatic fat. She got her master's and PhD in it and continues to research it. Honestly, almost no one can argue with her on the topic of fatty liver. Working with her is another highly esteemed professor from the pharmaceutical company Novo Nordisk named Lotte Bjerre-Knudsen. Her specialty is diabetes, type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes, insulin, fats, and the like. They wanted to see the effect of a medication currently available in our pharmacies on fatty liver. Before I tell you its name, it is a diabetes medication. But is it just for diabetes? No, it's a weight loss medication. Most people who use it to lose weight. When the company first invented it, They intended it to be a safe and effective drug for diabetes. But they discovered that it also causes weight loss, suppresses appetite, makes people eat less, and helps them stick to a diet. So they released one product for diabetes and the exact same injection under a different name for weight loss. They studied this active ingredient. The scientific name is Liraglutide. All the doctors listening will immediately know what I'm talking about. Liraglutide is available in pharmacies under two names, one formulated for diabetes and one for weight loss. The one for diabetes, which is also used for weight loss, is called Victoza. The other name is Saxenda. In Egypt, we only have Victoza. Whoever wants to take it for diabetes takes it, and whoever wants to take it for weight loss takes it, and whoever wants to take it for anything else takes it, because it has many benefits. It protects the heart, boosts memory, and has a lot of research backing it. In other countries, both are available. The Victoza injections and Saxenda, which the company made specifically for weight loss, so the patient doesn't get confused. You want to lose weight? Take Saxenda. You want to manage your blood sugar? Take Victoza. So these two researchers decided to test it and see its effect on fatty liver. Naturally, this is a weight loss drug, meaning you will achieve the primary goal we discussed, losing weight. They brought in about 100 patients. The company funded this research, of course, with fatty liver, insulin resistance, or diabetes. They started giving them Saxenda injections at a concentration of 1.8 milligrams. Of course, you don't start a patient on this dose right away. You start with 0.6 milligrams, a third of the dose. Every week, you double it until you reach the main dose, because it can upset the stomach and cause nausea from the severe appetite suppression until the patient gets used to it. After that, the patient enters a state of appetite loss that helps them diet. Now back to fatty liver. Measurements were taken first via scans. After 6 months of continuous treatment, they found that these people no longer had fatty liver. They were cured of fatty liver, and everything was going great for them. They naturally published this research in a reputable journal, and it was a huge win for the company because their product now had another approved use. Another thing was done by the Endocrinology Society. They went to India, because in India, the population is practically uncountable. If you need volunteers with any disease, you'll find thousands, and it can be quite cost-effective to sponsor them, as you have to provide their meals, manage their nutrition, and cover their treatment costs. They tested something else entirely. I forgot to mention the price of Liraglutide. In Egypt, the course is quite expensive for most people. I asked about the price of the injection, and it's 875 EGP, and it lasts about 2 weeks. So multiply that by 2 for a month's treatment. That's a huge downside because it won't be accessible to everyone to spend around 1,750 EGP a month to cure obesity and fatty liver. However, a lot of people have health insurance or state-sponsored health care that covers it. Now, the team in India, funded by the Endocrinology Society, sponsored a massive study on diabetic patients. They gathered a large number of people who had both diabetes and fatty liver, meaning, if you only have fatty liver, this doesn't apply to you. You must have reached the diabetic stage. There's a relatively newly licensed drug called Empagliflozin. It works in a fantastic, unique way. It doesn't work on the pancreas or insulin. It works on the kidneys. God designed the kidneys to largely prevent sugar from being excreted in the urine, as long as your blood sugar isn't extremely high, until it crosses a threshold of about 180. It won't spill into the urine. Before that, sugar absolutely cannot exit through urine. The body holds on to it. You might ask, sugar is water-soluble. Why doesn't it exit with the urine? It gets filtered out by the kidney tubules, but then the kidney immediately reabsorbs it back into blood, pushing out sodium salt instead. So salts are excreted, and glucose is pulled back in. There's an enzyme working on this pump. The researchers blocked this enzyme with Empagliflozin, brand name Jardiance. A daily 10 milligrams dose stops this process, causing most of the glucose to exit via the urine instead of returning to the blood. We block the reabsorption pathway. So the higher the sugar gets, the more it leaves via urine, reducing it in the body. This drug worked very well. They also found that because it excretes salt, it significantly lowers blood pressure and protects the heart. The Endocrinology Society also found that it reduces fatty liver. And it's not just Empagliflozin. It's the entire SGLT2 inhibitor family. Empagliflozin drug works this way. They discovered that within a few months, it drastically reduces and treats liver fat. They recommended its use, but only for diabetic patients, because it actively flushes sugar from the body. If a healthy person takes it, their blood sugar and blood pressure will crash, making them feel severely exhausted and faint. To summarize, there are standard treatments doctors prescribe. Then there is newly discovered research. 2 scientists from Denmark found that Liraglutide, Victoza, or Saxenda treats fatty liver. Doctors prescribe them to your patients. If they have insulin resistance or diabetes and have fatty liver, there's no problem. There's also Jardiance, Empagliflozin, which flushes glucose out in the urine. This also treats fatty liver, as certified by the Endocrinology Society. I continue to advise everyone, folks, if we just lose weight, the closer we get to our ideal weight, do keto, do low calorie, do any diet, please just lose weight. You won't get diabetes. You won't get fatty liver. All these diseases will stay away from us. May God heal you all. Until we meet in a future episode, peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you. While medical interventions show incredible promise, science consistently proves that daily habits act as the ultimate foundation for reversing liver fat. Here is a breakdown of practical, research-backed strategies you can apply today. The power of black coffee. Extensive clinical research demonstrates that drinking 2 to 3 cups of plain, unfiltered black coffee daily acts as a powerful shield for the liver. It contains unique polyphenol and antioxidants that actively reduce liver inflammation and significantly lower the risk of fibrosis, liver scarring. Embrace intermittent fasting. Studies highlight that restricting your eating window to 8 hours a day, the 16-cholinate method, rapidly depletes stored glycogen in the liver. Once the glycogen is gone, the body experiences a metabolic switch, forcing it to burn the stubborn fat accumulated inside the liver for energy. Boost your choline intake. Choline is a crucial nutrient that physically helps transport fat out of your liver cells, preventing it from getting trapped. You can easily optimize your choline intake by incorporating whole eggs, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts into your diet. Protect your circadian rhythm. Lack of sleep directly disrupts the liver's metabolic clock. High-quality sleep, 7 to 8 hours, regulates insulin sensitivity and prevents the sudden cortisol spikes that instruct the body to store visceral and hepatic fat. Aligning your sleep schedule is just as critical as aligning your diet.